Hi! In this lesson, you will continue learning about some of the basic things you can do in Unity by exploring some third-person game mechanics. Specifically, you will create a game where a third-person character collects a set number of objects. Our game will be composed of 4 different aspects. First, we'll need a character that the user controls. We'll also need objects for the character to collect. We'll create the illusion of collection by having the object disappear when the player collides with it. And last, we'll display a score on the screen that lets the user know how many more objects they have left to collect. In the next few slides, we'll go over some of the important Unity assets and components you will need to be familiar with before jumping into the Unity editor. Unity's standard asset package has a pre-built third-person controller that we can use to control a character. This asset enables the user to provide input that moves the player. As you saw in earlier lessons, collider components enable objects to physically collide with each other in a game. They are basically an invisible barrier that surrounds a character or object. Whenever the collider runs into something, it registers a collision. Capsule colliders are great for approximating the shape of a humanoid character and complex objects that are moving. There are also box colliders and sphere colliders. Many times, game designers will create a collider for an object or character by combining a variety of collider shapes. While a mesh collider can provide more detail, it can cause the program to run much slower. The rigid body component enables objects to act under the control of physics. So the collider components register a collision. Then, because the cube has a rigid body, when the character runs into it, the cube moves and topples over. UI is a common abbreviation for user interface. This refers to components and layout of the screen during gameplay. An effective UI enables the user to easily navigate and find information. In this screenshot of a Mario game, you can see the UI has 3 elements: information about object collection, health, and the map. In this lesson, you'll learn how to add a simple score to the UI. In Unity, the canvas is the space in which you lay out the UI. Whatever you want to appear on the canvas, such as the text for the score, needs to be a child of the canvas object. And finally, an event is something that causes or triggers something to happen. In Unity, the event system is in charge of sending events to objects. The event system will be in charge of updating the score as the character collects objects. So, when our character collects an object, that collision is an event that triggers the event system to update the score to 3. This informs the user that there are 3 objects left to collect. Alright, now that you know about the UI, collisions, and a third-person controller, let's get started.